Hi again. In this video, we will look at how to create disease models as part of the Clinical Community Challenge. For starters, I'll go to where it says models here. It's going to load a list of models. I'll click on create new model or algorithm. Choose the disease that I want to model. In this case, I want to model malaria. And the nickname for my model. So since I and my team are very much into colors, we'll create a nickname, and this will be called green malaria. So this is just the model this is just the name that you can use to refer to your model that you're creating. Does this condition have multiple stages? If yes, you can list out the stages. So let's assume it has an uncomplicated stage and a complicated stage. Again, the diseases that you're trying to model don't have to have stages. This is just an example. Then I'll click next. This will create the model for me and then take me to that page. Awesome. There's a lot of things happening on this page, but for starters, let's start adding symptoms. We'll add our first symptom. Click on add symptom. We know that fever is a common symptom of malaria. We'll then choose which stage this symptom shows up in. We'll say it shows up both in complicated and uncomplicated malaria. Next, what percent of males and females present with this symptom? Again, we will review exactly how to fill this out in depth during the training sessions. We'll say that this only happens, 16% of the time in males and 100% in females. And we'll do the same thing for each demographic. In this case, we'll assume that it happens 100% of the time for every age group. How long does the symptom last? We'll say it lasts 10 days plus or minus 4 days. The onset is mostly sudden, so actually it's entirely sudden. And it's mainly low grade. It's also mainly intermittent. Again, please refer to the training sessions for more information on this. Continue. Any aggravators? Cough is crying is an aggravator of fever. We can assume that a headache also is, or let's remove that and say vomiting is an aggravator. Continue, and antipyretics are the only thing that can relieve this symptom in the case of my model that I'm creating. Next, we will say that it takes roughly 3 to 6 days for the symptom to start presenting, and we'll get this nasty summary page here that our team is still working on. And when we finish that, the symptom shows up there. Okay, there is the fever that we just created. All right, let's add another symptom. This time we'll just go quickly. We'll assume this shows up for uncomplicated malaria. Just leave everything mostly as it is. So we'll assume this takes 12 days. Just going to add things at random here to get through this. We'll ignore those, and we'll say that this starts roughly 8 days in. Okay, there's our second one. If we want to update any one of these, we can just click on it and then change it. So in this case, I'm using my keyboard arrows, by the way, to navigate. I want to say that this symptom starts presenting 10 days in. Between 10 and 13 days in. So once I update that, I can see it's changed in the presentation here. I can do the same for risk factors. So let's assume that smoking is a risk factor for malaria. I don't know how that would be the case, but we would then indicate how often this causes the condition. I'll just save that. Same goes for investigations and findings. I expect a rapid test to be positive 99% of the time. And I expect a white blood cell count to be high, let's say 90% of the time. Normal 10% of the time, and low 0% of the time. Okay, we'll save that. And I think that's all for the model creation. So I can save my model by clicking on Save Model. This will take a second to run because it's also going to benchmark your model against some of the data sets that we have. And this will just take a few seconds. There. Done. So after every model is run, you can get access to evaluation results. So these are results of running the model against some data sets. And you can see how it performed. Ours probably performed really, really poorly. And if we head back to the home page or the models page, you'll see, oh yeah, our model is still, I can come back to my models. There it is. I can click on edit or update. So there's one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to change it from draft to published. So once I publish my model, it is now available to everybody to see. So there it is. And as you can see, my model isn't performing very, very well, but we'll talk about how to read these metrics in a later video.